World leaders have been discussing ways to mitigate climate change, which is already affecting communities worldwide. But some traditional communities may have already been coping with these changes by relying purely on their indigenous knowledge. But how relevant is this traditional information in the face of the changing climate? CGTN's Peninah Karibe visited a Maasai community in Kenya's Kajiado County and now reports.
Blistering morning sun reflects brightly on the bare landscape. On the ground, a vastness of bare earth stretches out endlessly. This is Kajiado County. Known as a semi-arid region, it has not received much rain this year and is currently experiencing drought. Kajiado County is known for pastoralism. In this harsh weather, goats roam freely looking for something, anything to eat. The Maasai community, which is predominant in this region, has learned to survive in this harsh environment. It is here that we find John Waupari, one of the Maasai elders, as he heads to meet with other elders at the home of the former area chief. The elders are also joined by meteorologist John Rotich, who is the county's director of meteorological services. The discussion that follows next is both interesting and intriguing. They are comparing notes on the weather forecasts from the elders and the meteorological department. Each side gives details of what they have studied and what the findings are. The outcomes of this discussion will prove crucial to the community's next steps in the coming days and weeks. But the elders are optimistic. After almost a year of no rain, relief is coming and coming soon. How they're able to tell that is a different kind of science, studied for centuries. A science that uses everything in the surrounding environment, from the sky to animals and even plants.
This is an indicator the rains are near. You can't see these leaves any other time except when the rains are approaching. It might rain a week or two from now.
In this land, almost every plant has a story to tell. John says these tiny shrubs only sprout a few weeks before the onset of rains. They also observe flowers from different trees, when they bloom and the different colors they have, all of which are useful in determining the weather patterns. Animals too are a useful resource of climate prediction. The elders slaughter a goat and study the insides of its stomach. The patterns of the veins and blood flow determines if they will have a good or bad season. And then there are the tiny creatures such as termites, which are useful in giving more immediate forecasts, narrowing it down to days. John explains that patterns such as these tiny termite mounds above the ground are a good indication that the area will receive rains in just a few days.
We also study the stars. Every morning and evening the elders study them. There are two stars in particular that we study, and depending on their movement, we are able to determine how weather will be. It will be 2 years now since we last saw them, but of late we've been spotting them. They are moving towards each other, and as soon as they cross each other, it will rain.
It may not sound like much compared to complex scientific instruments that are currently used globally, but such is the trust in this indigenous knowledge that the Maasai community has clung to it over the years.
My father died recently. He was 100 years old when he died. So he had a lot of knowledge and he would teach me how to apply it in order for me to be able to care for the animals better, to know if it will rain and also when there will be a drought.
And meetings such as this one ensure that knowledge is passed on to the younger generation. It is difficult to imagine any accurate weather forecasts could be made using the natural flora and fauna of such a harsh environment. But this knowledge has sustained the local communities. It has also piqued the interest of the country's meteorological department. With technology becoming more advanced and widespread, some scientists insist indigenous knowledge still has its place in climate prediction and adaptation.
We also add, or we incorporate that knowledge, the skills they have and the network they have, so that the two knowledges, they can be acceptable and they can penetrate, and the user can get a better use and also get more knowledge or more parameters which are incorporated, like rainfall amounts, rainfall duration, rainfall onset, and the cessation of the rains.
It is the reason why Kenya's Meteorological Department is collaborating with local community elders, such as these ones, to ensure such communities are cushioned against the effects of the constantly changing climate. But that collaboration has taken years to nurture.
Scientists don't listen to us. They dismiss us and they say we don't know anything. They think because they are educated, their instruments are better than our knowledge. If only they could collaborate with us, we'd also be able to contribute to their knowledge.
Scientists like Rotich say, in the face of the changing climate, this indigenous knowledge cannot be ignored.
So going into the future, they are good in adaptation. They can teach us what the traditional knowledge knows about how to live in a harsher environment.
With the world scrambling for solutions to change the current climate cause, Kajiado County's Maasai community may already be contributing to that cause in their own small way. Peninah, Karibe, CGTN in Kajiado County, Kenya.